order for us. And commitment to pro wrestling. Everybody in this room knows how hot pro wrestling is right now. And on our side, we've been doing it a long time, between Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and now WOW. We've had a commitment to this space for as long as I can remember. I've been here 12 years, and Mark Cuban, as many of you guys know, has been RKO'd. He's gone through tables from Sheamus. He's been a big-time pro wrestling supporter, and we're lucky to be able to do what we love on the network. I will open it up. I can answer questions on everything. I have a feeling I know where some of them are going to go, but let's see what happens.
Great. Hi, Andrew. How are you? I'm Joey G from Wrestling Inc. It says here in your extensive education in communications and administration, over 400 live combat sports events, which congratulations, that's amazing. How did combat sports, MMA, UFC, pro wrestling become your interest after receiving the high-level degrees that you did?
You know, I've always been a big fan of combat sports. I used to wake up, my dad would have me watch Muhammad Ali fights. Even when I was a little kid, he'd wake me up and I'd watch Ali. I'd watch Sugar Ray Leonard. I was into boxing big time growing up. Pro wrestling, I remember watching Jimmy Snuka go to the top of the cage and jump down on Don Morocco. And I didn't grow up with much, so I had to sneak to my uncle's house because he had cable at MSG, which we didn't have because we couldn't afford it. So I would even go and make sure to go watch MSG all the time. But I grew up watching everything and watching Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan and Gordon Soley, and when I would go to Florida to watch championship wrestling out there. So I've always been a huge fan of pro wrestling, boxing. Then MMA came about. Was watching UFC in the early days and tape trading with everybody else in the early days, and was just so fortunate. I worked on the video game side at one point, and the UFC early games were coming through. I'd take a look, got into the cable business, and was working with Showtime Boxing, HBO Boxing, WWE, UFC, running a cable system, sales and marketing in Las Vegas. So being in the fight capital of the world, getting to work with everybody coming through, I was able to work with everybody in that area and got to meet Mark Cuban while working for Cox Communications, and kind of a chat for 2 years straight about different things. He was talking about bringing a fight organization to his TV network, said, would you be interested? And been doing it now for 12 years.
Fantastic. And then just one follow-up question.
Sure.
With the, let's call it growth that professional wrestling is now kind of having again with the emergence of AEW, with promotions like Ring of Honor and New Japan running shows as big as Madison Square Garden. Where do you see WOW falling into in that mix for the future?
Yeah, you know, WOW is something special. I mean, you take a look and you go back with David McLean to the Glow days, and he was the first really to recognize that women could be the star of the show. That they didn't have to be the popcorn match, the bathroom break, and everything else that was going on at WWE at the time, that they could be the stars of the show. So he started that with Glow. And, you know, today, when Jeannie Buss and David brought WOW, they really saw a vision that this is something that's going to take off. They were patient on the growth cycle of it. And I think you take a look in today's space, you have WWE, it's a 3-hour plus show on Monday and going to Friday. AEW is going to do their live show, but we're going to be the only show still focused on women on national television. It's fast, it's easy to digest, you don't have to give up a full night of dinner and a night out to watch it. 48 to 52 minutes of action, and you want to see next week. You're hungering for more versus going, oh my God, I had to commit 3 hours to the show. So it's a very different experience that we're seeing with WOW. I think their place will be something a little bit more fun and entertaining than necessarily trying to be the leader of sports like somebody else might, and then you have sports entertainment that's all the way over here. I think it's just to have a good fun time that everybody can watch.
Great, thank you so much.
Sure.
Hey Andrew, question for you more on the business side. Curious to get your opinion on where you see the future of just wrestling in general is and where the biggest opportunities are, and then of course more specifically for WOW and specifically sort of the female audience.
Yeah, wrestling, it's interesting because on the one hand you have viewership for WWE that could be declining, But on the other hand, the stock is at an all-time high and their financials are better than ever. And so, you know, it's kind of an interesting time for AEW to be jumping in and for others to be out there because the TV deals are better than ever, but yet viewership is declining. So the question will be, can you attract more people back to a product and will more people be interested? Our experience for WoW is yes, right now we are seeing more people coming to WoW because it is something different. We've seen New Japan grow on our network, we've seen WoW grow on our network, and we're probably the only one that's seeing growth on our fight side as well. All our numbers are up year over year, and that we're seeing tremendous growth on the Friday night block that we have. So from my perspective, if you're putting stuff on that people want to see, you're going to see that growth. If you're not, people aren't going to watch. There's too many other entertainment options, whether it's pro wrestling or anything out there.
Hey Andrew, Tony, Breezeway Productions. I just wanted to touch base with you more on the business side as far as the MMA world and how you've given a lot of top UFC guys their debuts and starts on national television. And I was wondering, do you have like a work relationship with UFC where they can just take guys, or how does that work?
You know, we don't really, you know, from a TV perspective, we're the broadcaster. So over the years, you know, we have done, I think it's up to 430 MMA events at this point. We've seen obviously a tremendous, I think currently 40% or 50% of the champions in the UFC come from AxsTV at one point in time. So we have a great relationship in that context, but we don't have a formal relationship where we, you know, Dana calls me up and says, is this okay? But the LFA, you know, does use the Octagon. It's the only promotion outside, I believe, of the UFC using the Octagon for their fights. Ed Suarez obviously has a great relationship with them, with Anderson Silva and Lyoto Machida and all the fighters over the years that he's managed. And he's the president, Nick Maynard, who used to be a part owner of LFA, a matchmaker. So we do have a relationship, but it's nothing like a formalized minor league baseball to major league. It's more informal. That I think they see, luckily, they get to see great talent on our network, say that guy looks great or that woman looks great, and we'd like to put him in the UFC.
And you also, you started around the time HDNet was the actual name of the company, right?
Correct.
And when you started to now, how can you tell me a little bit about that 12 years and how it's grown?
You know, when I started, we were in 7 million households back in 2007. I believe we're closer to 56 to 60 million households today. So we've seen tremendous growth on the television side. Also, when we first started, mixed martial arts clearly wasn't quite as popular or as accepted. We actually started mixed martial arts on the network in 2004 with WEC. So we've been doing this for 15 years on the mixed martial arts side. So we've seen tremendous growth in the sport, the acceptance of the sport, seeing it become a multi-billion-dollar industry, seeing the growth across the board. We've worked with 45 promotions. I think we've been in 50 countries all over the world where our product's been distributed at different points in time. So seeing the growth in the sport from when it just first started to where it is today, and seeing where our network went during that period of time too, has been incredible. We've grown in the music space. We've put legends like Dan Rather on the network. We have Sammy Hagar and Eddie Money. We have a fantastic programming that complements it, but we also have really been dedicated to Friday night and making that a home for mixed martial arts.
Thanks so much.
And for wrestling.
Any more questions?
All right, Andrew, you nailed it.
Thanks guys, I appreciate it.
You got
Have
it.
fun tonight.